Hey gang, Steve with Guitar Center. Today we're checking out Marshall's reissue of the Guv'nor and Drivemaster pedals. This video is a bit of a twofer, and let me explain. The Guv'nor was originally released in 1988. And this was Marshall's first attempt at the amp in a box type tone. And so what we got here is sort of a classic, not really model specific Marshall overdrive tone. And it actually has an effects loop built in. So it's very amp-like. You actually plug in a TRS-Y cable here for the in and out. And so you could click in another effect. Let's say you put a delay or a phaser or something in here. Every time you kick on your drive, you've got sort of a combo solo tone kind of thing going on. Rumor has it the pedal gets its name from Jim Marshall himself, who, around the office, was known as the Guv'nor. While it sounded great, the original Guv'nor pedal didn't stick around too long. In the early 90s, Marshall decided to release 3 pedals in the series: the Blues Breaker, the Shredmaster, and the Drivemaster. The Drivemaster was an update on the Guv'nor in its looks, but not in its sound. Before we get into an audio demo of any of these pedals, we got a real treat. The original point of purchase display, as provided by our head of guitars, Mr. Michael Doyle. If you recognize the name Michael Doyle, it's probably because he wrote the book on Marshall. In fact, he wrote 3. So this is so cool. We've got the original pedal on here, and we've got some great marketing copy here. If it sounded any more like a Marshall, we'd have to put a grill cloth on it. Now that's, of course, speaking to this being an amp in a box. And right here on these key bullet points is going to be what we're covering in the video today. So we've got variable gain control, 3-band EQ, master level control, silent switching, built-in dedicated effects loop, and you can power it by standard AC or battery, and of course, heavy metal construction. For the purposes of our demo today, we're just going to play through the Drivemaster. This thing has a sort of a mid to high gain, like I said, late 80s, early 90s Marshall type tone, 3-band EQ, and it really excels for that early alterna rock kind of sound. Before we make some noise, let me just tell you guys what we're running through here. We got Les Paul Standard 50s into the Drivemaster, and then we're running all of that into the legendary JTM 45 Blues Breaker amp. So my clean tone, just for reference, sounds like this. And with the Drivemaster, so you can hear this thing's got plenty of gain on tap, as they say. And I have the gain right around 2 o'clock right now. The EQ, the 3-band EQ, is very interactive here, so I'm just gonna sweep a couple different tones so you guys can hear for reference. So that's bass right around 9 o'clock, and then we'll bring it up to noon, and then up to 3. So if you did want to get a darker, more woolly tone, when you end up pushing the pedal harder, it does compress a little bit and it gets a bit fuzzy. Mids here, they were maxed out. Let's back that down to noon. And then to off. So you can hear a pretty broad sweep there. And then treble, we actually got right around, let's say 930 there. But we can bring in more brightness if we need it, for sure. It works really nicely with the mids cranked, and the lows and the highs kind of back down. You know, that 90s alterna rock kind of stuff like this, like. You can also get into a little bit heavier rock kind of stuff. I'm just going to turn the gain up here a little bit, and So gain-wise, the Drivemaster is probably just on the edge of metal, if you will. I think it really excels in that sort of L7, early 90s, maybe topping out at around the Foo Fighters range of gain. And the EQ is really powerful. It's important, you know, when you're playing either in a mix for a recording or maybe alongside another guitarist on stage, to be able to have powerful EQ to sort of dial in exactly where one or two players is going to be sitting in the mix. And with the Drivemaster, you have a lot of versatility there to really stand out or not stand out depending on the vibe. So if you're trying to decide between the Drivemaster and the Guv'nor, don't. Get them both. But if you really can only get one, here's what to consider. They'll both get you to the same tonal territory. The Guv'nor is a bit smaller with a slightly different aesthetic, and it includes an effects loop. It's that simple. If you want to learn more about the Guv'nor, the Drivemaster, or any of the pedals in this series, go to your local GC or visit guitarcenter.com.